plastic will also get into the environment, which is wonderful. Yay. Is plastic really that bad? Yes, the answer is yes. You've probably heard about our plastic crisis and all of the different ways that we're trying to deal with it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the problem that we have and what kind of solutions we've implemented to try to tackle these issues. This is all going to be part of a series about the planetary boundaries and about how design can help us see this situation in a different way, change perspectives, and try to remedy these problems that we've caused. I hope you enjoy the video and stay tuned until the end to find out about all these different solutions.
So I thought it would be interesting for this plastic video to, during my walk, see how many pieces of plastic trash we can find along just the path that I'm going to. All right, let me show you where we are. We are just going to walk along. Isn't this beautiful? Beautiful trees. Oh, there we go. A bottle. Oh, there, a cup. See that? I'm guessing these are going to be just people passing by and throwing their trash here. I know that this area has some bins. Oh, there we go. Right there. 2 more pieces. It looks like a folder, the blue thing. And that looks like polystyrene from like food or like takeout or something. Great. I know this place has some bins, but I know that there are few and that stuff can easily fly out of them. There we go, another one. 2 more there, 1 and 2. This is going great so far. Haven't been able to finish a sentence without finding more trash. This is a lovely walk. Anyway, oh, here we go. That looks like cardboard though, so we won't count that one. We will not be counting that one. Let's just go down here. So here we have a bin. We also have some bread on the floor, which is great. But these bins are a bit flimsy, so as soon as there's some wind, the trash can just blow away, kind of. Wow, look at that. So pretty. It's really nice in the summer because all these plants just pop out on the edge here. It's really beautiful. Just enjoying the last few moments. Okay, here we have a plastic paper holder over there. Yeah, that you put in those big binders. Okay, cool. Looks like school season is open. Can really tell. Okay. This is a nice walk on the lower part. Okay, let's see. I'm not necessarily actively looking for trash. I'm just like seeing the ones that are catching my eye. I know that a lot of trash just gets lodged in these holes sometimes. Over here as well. Right there. There's a pretty big hole there. So, there we go. Let's go back to our path. Nice little stroll. So we had a lot of trash in the beginning. Right now, oh, spoke too soon. There you go. See, in these areas, there's a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, lots of trash in these holes. It's a beautiful tree right there. So nice. There we go. Continuing our walk. Anything here? Looking good. Oh, here we go. That's great. Isn't it lovely when you find trash? Things that are already bad for you, like smoking, that are also causing harm to, you know, the water and all that stuff. Here we go, another one. There and there. So lovely, this plastic. There we go. It's just part of the landscape now. It's just part of common things that you see, that you find in the Earth's environment now, which is kind of sad because they're not really contributing much. I think that that's cardboard. I don't think that that's plastic, which is a win for us. So what's interesting about plastic is that it's a really cool material in itself. It's not necessarily the worst, like it's not an evil material. It's kind of like the use that we've started, the way that it's kind of more about the way that we've started using it and the reasons why we use it. And a lot of the time, even in like culturally, we'll associate plastic to something cheap, something that's not worth preserving, because plastic is so robust, really. Compared to, for example, glass. So if we have a glass product, we'll often put it away or put it on display, make sure that we don't break it. Not a lot of, functional, useful items are made of glass. So we have this association with certain materials, and plastic definitely goes into the more devalued category. And I think that stems from, firstly, the fragile aspect, the fact that the plastic is robust instead of being fragile. But I also think it comes from, my finger was another way. I also think that this association comes from the fact that we've used it for single-use reasons. By the way, lots of plastic everywhere, so yeah. But we've kind of started using it for like single-use reasons. So, like single-use cups, single-use plastic bags, cutlery, plates, all that stuff. We line a lot of our products with plastic. Oh, there we go. Container. Yay. A few trash items there. Although I can't say for sure if they're plastic. I think that blue thing is, but there. And there we have a wild plastic cap in its non-natural environment. Okay, one thing that is scarier than like big pieces of plastic everywhere, bottles and caps and the stuff that we've seen until now, is this. Let me show you. That, do you see that torn up Snickers wrapper over there? Just floating along right there. Yeah, that is scary because, well, that's obviously made of plastic and it'll just float away, really, and break down, continue to break down into smaller and smaller pieces. So that's great. And the problem with that is that generates microplastics, and microplastics get into things more easily than big chunks of plastic. So ideally, ideally what we can do is, instead of letting these things float away, we can pick them up. Make sure that we're getting rid of the big pieces so that we don't have the problem of these small pieces that we don't know how to retrieve. And actually, you can have an influence on the microplastics that are present in our environment, because I think it was 1/3 of microplastics in the ocean come from washing clothes that are made of polyester or that have plastic fibers. Every time you wash these clothes made with plastic fibers, you basically spread and let out a bunch of microplastic in the environment, in our waterways especially. And that means that we end up ingesting plastic in the form of microplastics that can get into our bloodstream, get into our organs. It's really undesirable, because we also don't know the impact that it can have on our bodies. Okay, let me try it David Attenborough style. And over here you can see a wild container. This container is made of polystyrene. Ugh, my accent is terrible. Anyway, oh, there, we have glass over there. But the wrapping, the sticker is made of plastic. That's great. This walk is kind of making me want to pick up trash while I just walk.
After a approximately 10-minute walk, we wound up with about 27 pieces of plastic. That's so much. Going into the walk, I was like, okay, well, I mean, how much plastic am I actually gonna find? It's probably not gonna be that much, honestly. I know that there's a lot of trash everywhere. But I really was like, what is the point of me filming? I'm not really gonna find that much trash. Immediately, 5 seconds into the walk, the first bottle on the floor. As many big pieces of plastic as we saw, there are so many more microplastics in that area that we can't actually see, but that are there.
You see this? This insane. This whole thing. We ingest an entire card's worth of plastic per week. 5 grams of plastic in our bodies.
I think we have a tendency of talking about plastics as something evil. I think that is somewhat well-founded in the sense that plastic is a material that's not biodegradable. It's a material that just kind of breaks down. It doesn't really exist in nature within this form. So polymers in nature exist, but they're polymers that nature knows how to use. The plastics that we're creating, like PET or polypropylene or polyester or polystyrene, we have lots of different types of plastics. All of those plastics just kind of break down into smaller and smaller pieces, and they integrate the cycles, but they're kind of just like a toxic piece of the cycles. And we don't actually know what effect that can have because that's never actually happened in the history of the Earth. So we're kind of assisting to all these new things that we don't know how to deal with. And that's kind of like the base of all of this series of videos. It's about how we humans are now dealing with problems that we've created that we have absolutely no idea how to solve, absolutely no clue how to handle. I mean, obviously a lot of people have a lot of solutions and ideas that we will talk about in this series. Let's get back to the evil plastic. So one of the reasons why plastic is seen as an evil material today is because of the fact that it doesn't degrade, so it just stays there. It kind of just pollutes all of our ecosystems and can't actually integrate the systems in any way. Whereas like all the wood products that we have can basically degrade and get back into the system, even though we treat it with plastic, and so those pieces of plastic will also get into the environment, which is wonderful. Yay. So that's one of the reasons why plastic has become this evil material. The thing is, there has been a really big emphasis on plastics, and there should be, because they're one of the 9 planetary boundaries that we've crossed. They're part of the novel entities. They are novel entities because plastics, as I said, in this form don't exist in nature. They're novel entities to the biosphere's system. And so we've kind of surpassed the amount of novel entities that the planet can actually handle. That's basically what the planetary boundaries limit diagram is about. Plastic, the material, is not actually the bad guy in this situation. It's more the use that we've made out of them. So that's what I was talking about during the walk, and I want to go deeper into that idea right now. Plastics are an incredible material with incredible mechanic properties and properties in general. And that's one of the reasons why we went crazy over them and started using them everywhere, because they have such amazing properties. You know, they're able to contain water. Plastic bottles, Tupperware containers, they contain water and liquids in a way that doesn't really damage them and doesn't really transfer flavor in any way. What we are noticing though now is that plastic is being transferred into the water or into the liquids, which is not great for our health. So that's something that we didn't expect. But basically, at the end of World War II, we realized, oh my god, plastic is such an amazing material. We can do so many things out of it. And in reality, we innovated a lot thanks to plastic. And a lot of things that we do today depend on our use of plastics. Thank you, Mr. Carr. So yeah, a lot of things that we do kind of depend on plastics. For example, medically, there are a lot of operations that are done through the use of plastics, and we can't really substitute that for any other material currently. Plastic in itself, the material, is not a problem on its own. It's more the use that we make of it. For example, let's take the plastic bag. So plastic bags are now banned in a lot of places, in a lot of countries. The reason for that is because we've been using plastic bags as something that you can just use in like countless amounts. It is something that's sourced from petroleum, so petroleum is finite. Even though the process of making plastics is not that heavy and doesn't emit that much carbon, we're still using petroleum, and petroleum is a finite resource. We can't depend on that forever. We can't depend on it regenerating because it would just take millions and millions of years. Consumerism is more the reason why plastic bags are bad today. It's because we've developed this idea that we can use it in an unlimited way, as I was saying. And so instead of reusing the same bag over and over and over, having it in your pocket all the time, we've just continuously been using a bunch of different bags for all of our groceries. And that's more where the problem lies. It's about this kind of use of the material. Now that we've understood the problem a little bit better, stay tuned for part 2, where we'll talk about solutions and possible avenues for solutions in the future.